Hi YouTube, before I get started on this review, I want you guys to follow me on Instagram. There's a link that will take you to my Instagram profile in my description box. Season 1, Episode 17, titled 5 Families. This episode starts off where we left off last episode when Donald began to choke Lily. And this is because she wants to leave Donald. She plans on going to the police. She wants to go to the police because she knows about the murder that happened in the White House. And I'm still a little confused on that because I still don't recall a scene of her witnessing the murder or even hearing about it. But that goes back to what I said in my previous review on how when she caught Donald and Kyle in the room together and they were about to get intimate, that was probably a hint that she had been lurking around and she just so happened to hear about what took place in the White House between the president and the mistress. So that's probably what it is. For now, we can just assume that she had been spying around, so that's how she knows about it. Donald lets Lily go. He stops choking her, and he can't find it in himself to kill her. Lily, she tries to get away, but Donald doesn't make it easy for her. She starts to slither down the stairs, and Donald, you know how he gets. He's like, Lily, Lily, where are you going? And she's slithering down the stairs. I'm like, he can see you. And it was like she was slithering, like she was hiding. Like maybe if I, do it real subtle, he won't notice me. Like, no. He started running after her. He wasn't like running after her down the stairs, but he was following her down the stairs. And they get to the foyer, and Donald was really not allowing her to leave. In this scene, I feel like this was a mixture of him showing how he cared for her safety, but at the same time, he was also expressing how much he needs her for his own personal gain. So I'm really still confused on Donald's true intentions because at one point he will seem like he's really trying to look out for Lily, but then he will flip it around and say something that alludes to the fact that this is only for his personal gain. So I feel like he's really selfish, but there is a small part of him that really does care for Lily's safety. She promises him that she's not going to the police, and Donald, he doesn't believe her, and he's letting her know that it can get really bad for her if she goes to the police. He lets her know that they have to stay together, they have to start a family, and he also mentions he is next in line to run for president, and I found that very interesting. So in essence, Donald is trying to force Lily to play house with him, which is asking a lot. It's asking a lot. Lily asks Donald who are these powerful people that he keeps on talking about, and he finally reveals to her that there are 5 families that run the country. To add on to that, these families own everything, including them. Okay, so we get to the next scene and we're in the White House again. Janine, she's in the kitchen minding her business, cleaning, and here comes Gail. She starts to patronize Janine. She informs Janine that she overheard the conversation Janine was having on the phone. And in this conversation, Janine referred to Veronica as a bitch and her brother, who is Jason, as a pervert. Gail overheard that conversation back when she tried to escape the White House and she hid in the trunk of Janine's car. Gail tells Janine she can get her fired for what she heard. However, on the other hand, Gail actually appreciates Janine because in that conversation, Janine mentioned how she felt sorry for Gail. So she appreciates that, but Gail wants Janine to do spy work for her. She wants her to find out she wants to find out how her boyfriend was killed because as we recall back in, I forgot what episode it was, but it was early season 1. Kyle had her boyfriend killed from, if my memory serves me right. Kyle had his gang killed. I don't think that we saw the boyfriend get killed so he could still be alive, but no, because On the next episode, I believe Veronica showed Gail a video of her boyfriend getting killed. I forgot the name of those episodes, so pardon me on that. So yeah, he's dead. But yeah, so she wants to find out how her boyfriend was killed, and she wants Janine to do the spy work for her. And that's asking a lot of Janine because she's just there to clean, and that's it. After asking Janine for that favor, Janine walks away, and Gail calls her a bitch. See, that's why it's so hard to feel bad for Gail, because she's just so mean. And I understand why she's like that, because you see the dynamic between her and her mother, so she gets it from her mom. Okay, so then we get to a scene between Kyle and Hunter, and Kyle starts to low-key flirt with the president. And then Hunter catches on, and then that's when the scene just gets a little creepy from there, because Kyle, that character, is just creepy. It's not what he does that's creepy, it's just how he does it. That's what's creepy about him. Okay, so now we're in Hunter and Victoria's room. We see that Hunter is looking around his room, and I think this is him trying to see if there's any leftover evidence. And he lifts up the rug, and this is where Kyle, he spilt all that wine. And I believe there was some blood that was also spilt on the floor during that scene when Hunter picked up Denise's head and discovered that she was decapitated. But I don't remember any blood getting on the floor. I just remember Kyle pouring the wine on the floor. So yeah, he picks up the rug and sees a huge red stain. Victoria, she begins to interrogate Hunter again about what really happened to Denise, because she still wants to know. Hunter keeps avoiding Veronica every time she tries to get answers. He always gets passive aggressive and gives her snide comments. But Victoria always manages to bring him back to reality every time she mentions her father. I'm really looking forward for them to introduce Victoria's father on screen. We've heard his voice on one episode when Victoria called him, but I'm really looking forward to seeing him on screen and seeing the dynamic between him and the grandkids and him and Hunter. Victoria manages to get Hunter to go talk to his son due to his perverted behavior. However, Hunter just seems so uninterested in talking to Jason, which just shows how neglectful of a parent he is. Because as we recall, back in that episode when Gail ran away, after she was brought back home, Hunter didn't even check on her. So Hunter goes to Jason's room, which is literally right across the hall from his bedroom. Hunter tells Jason that he can't just go out in public embarrassing him or the White House like that, because in that episode when he went out to lunch with his grandmother, he was pleasuring himself under the table. Jason swears he didn't do it, but who knows? Jason wants to know why he should behave himself when Hunter isn't exemplifying any ethical behavior himself. Jason mentions Denise, and Hunter wants to know how he knows about her. And then the conversation shifts from Jason behaving himself into, how much information do you know about Denise and that situation. So Hunter starts to get a little skeptical of Jason. It's obvious that he's a little suspicious of Jason and his involvement within the murder. And I feel like at this point, Hunter is being paranoid, especially if it turns out that Hunter really is suspecting that his child had something to do with it. Hunter asks Jason if he's seen Denise today, and Jason says yes. Hunter asks him how, because you were with your grandmother. Jason smiles and turns away, and this is him getting passive aggressive. Hunter then asks Jason, are you lying to me? Jason then says, I always lie to you. See, Hunter doesn't like it when other people starts to play those Jedi mind tricks on him, but it's okay for him to do it. Hunter leaves the room, and he tells Kyle he wants him to keep an eye on Jason. And I feel like this dynamic between the two, Jason and Kyle, is going to be really interesting because their characters are both very creepy. So I look forward to seeing what that dynamic is going to be like in the upcoming episodes. Lily, she's sitting outside of a precinct station, and she's debating on whether or not she should go and report what all she knows. But she calls Bobby and he tells her that that wouldn't be a good idea, which is similar to what Donald was saying. So there's some truth in to what Donald was saying. It wouldn't be a good idea for her to do that. It's more than just him protecting himself. He is also trying to protect her in his own twisted way. Lily agrees that it's probably best for her to not report anything at the precinct, but just as she's about to pull off, Sam comes out of nowhere and asks her, is everything okay? And she was like, yeah, everything's fine. And she drives off, and Sam shakes his head, so he probably knows that something is going on because that White House is very crazy. But I personally feel as though if Lily could find a ally in the White House, she could possibly find an ally with Sam. But you just never know in the White House because he also has a job to do himself. Lily goes to see Bobby. She tells Bobby how her husband tried to kill her. However, Bobby thinks it's a good idea for her to stay with her husband. Lily, she's dealing with some very dangerous people, so it's best for her to stay so she can keep her enemy close. Also, this will give her the chance to gather more information to use to blackmail Donald so she can leave and cut ties with the White House. We get back to Donald's house and Kyle shows up. At first, the guard wasn't going to let him in. However, Kyle, he manages to get past the guard. When Kyle walks up to Donald, he tries to make him a drink. And to be honest, I wouldn't drink anything from Kyle. Kyle, you never know what he's up to. Kyle tries to kiss Donald and Donald rejects him. Kyle then proceeds to go upstairs after talking with Donald, and Donald tells him to, no, get back down here, don't go upstairs. That's his way of weakly trying to resist Kyle. And one thing I've noticed about Donald, he so-calls always says no to Kyle. He's always saying no, stop. And at this point, I really feel as though Donald is just playing hard to get with Kyle, because every time he and Kyle get in the same room and Kyle starts to put the moves on him, we see how it always turns out, because at the end of the episode, these two, they get intimate. We then get back to Hunter and Victoria's bedroom. Victoria, apparently she dropped her grandmother's earring on the floor and she starts to lean over the bed so she can find it. And Hunter starts to go crazy, like, no, what are you looking for? Because as we recall, there is possible evidence left over from what happened to Denise, so he doesn't want her looking around or snooping. She finds her grandmother's earring. However, she touches something on the nightstand and then red liquid gets on her finger. Then the episode goes off. Okay, that's all that I have for you guys in this recap review video. Make sure you like this video, share this video, comment below, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and last but not least, follow me on my social medias. The links will be in the description box below.